Hello everyone and welcome to MI Radio's Learning Hub program, a collaboration between Myanmar International Radio and the American University of Yangon, AUY. I'm Zoe, by the way, and we have got Theo today. Hi Theo.
Hi Zoe. So this program, Learning Hub, it is all about language skills and practical English for everyday use, right, Zoe? And we're getting into topics that's really going to interest you. And today we brought in some special guests from American University of Yangon. We got teacher Philip and Theory. You guys please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Theory Minton. I am an alumni of AUY University, and I'm currently working here as an intern.
Oh, okay. And teacher Philip?
Hello everyone, this is Theo. I'm an external program officer at American University of Yangon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so thanks for being here today, teacher Philip and Theory. So today I have got an interesting topic to talk about for us. It is daily miscommunication. I mean, especially those caused by cultural differences. So Philip and Theo are from overseas, right?
Yep.
So I came from a different state in Myanmar. I mean, from a border area. So Theory, I'm sure you have got a different foreign friends, maybe your friends from different cultures, right?
Yes.
So I'm curious, have you ever had a cultural misunderstanding adapting into, how can I say, funny and memorable moments in your life? So Philip, I'm sure you have a story.
Yes, I do have one. It's quite funny. So when I live in the United States, one time it happened after the class. So everyone was walking out of the classroom, and me and my friend also was one of them. And my friend just placed his hands on my shoulder while we're walking out of the classroom, right? So it's pretty much normal here in Myanmar to show that you are close to your friends, to show your bromance, right? Pretty much normal here.
Yeah.
But in the United States, they think that gestures, hand gesture placed on your hands on your shoulder, your friend's shoulder, can be interpreted differently. So to them, you are a couple. You're gay couple. Right? So you're not supposed to do that with the same gender.
Okay. So are you guys still friends?
We're still friends.
Okay. Theory, what about you? Any stories to share?
As a kid, I only had one foreign friend. She was Vietnamese.
Okay.
And then Vietnamese, they have quite weird names. And a lot of things...
Maybe pronunciation?
Pronunciation-wise, I kind of forgot some of the words that sounded funny, but the only thing I remember is the names. So I think it's common knowledge that almost everybody in Vietnam they have Nguyen as their name.
Right.
So I didn't have just one Vietnamese friend. There was like 3 other Vietnamese students that came into my school, and they were all named Nguyen. So for the longest time, I thought they were all related. But apparently they were not, and it's just a thing that goes on in Vietnam. So
It's like kind of like how Tet is a common last name.
Right.
So Theo, I know you were born in Myanmar but raised in the United States, working there, attending school, right? So any daily, I'm sure you must have met lots of people from all over.
Yeah.
So any daily miscommunication or culture shock experiences you want to talk about?
Avocados.
Avocado?
So let me explain. Okay, you know how people here cut avocado like
Yes.
And so I used to work at an animal hospital, and I brought in an avocado because I felt like eating an avocado. And so so I was like cutting the avocado like an onion. Everyone stopped working and they just stared at me, and they started taking photos and they started uploading on their Facebook. And they're like, this is the strangest thing we've seen. And I was like, okay, so how do you guys cut avocado? And they're like, we cut it like this, like, like vertically.
isn't that how you normally cut it?
Stop. No. I asked people around the office if they said they cut it like an onion.
Oh.
So it's a cultural thing, apparently.
It's kind of funny.
It's funny. So yeah, I got avocado shamed online. So
Theory, I just wanted you just came back from Singapore or Thailand?
Yes, Singapore. Yes.
How was the trip?
It was tiring, but also in a sense, it was fun. It's bittersweet.
So yes, I'm sure you have an overseas like some country as well as in state, like traveling like different areas in Myanmar, right? Like the ethnic group areas. So what are some different themes in culture that you have encountered in your life?
There was a big culture shock when I went to Singapore. You see, the moment I got there, everything was squeaky clean. Like, I even joked to my parents that, I could lick the floor here, but of course I'm not going to do that. But everything was so clean, it was so organized. And once I got there, I talked to the people at the immigration. They were so tense. And then as Singaporeans, I find it difficult to understand their accent. And every time I ask them to repeat what they say, the angrier they got. So that was also a difficult thing to deal with on my part. But when we got out of immigration, just the country was so organized, as in, the public transport. There's this thing called a bus lane where normal cars aren't allowed to go inside the bus lane, and the bus could just go according to its route, and there rarely were any delays. And what else is there? Yes, the usage of cards. Almost all Singaporean restaurants or almost all public transport, you need cards to get into public transport. Like the MRT cards, we took a while to buy the MRT cards, because you need it for the bus and the trains. But once you go in there, you gotta just tap the card, and then you get in, and then when you get out of the bus, you tap the card again. As simple as that. No cash, no nothing. And even some restaurants, they rely so much on cards that we cannot enter because we just don't have a Visa card with us. But yeah, that's mainly like the technological advantage is the biggest culture shock that I have.
So do you love Singapore? How do you think?
Absolutely. I wanna, maybe I might live there in the future. I might not. The people there are mean.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Learning Her program, where today we are talking about daily miscommunication with different people from different perspectives.
Oh, yes. This part is going to focus more on the cultural gaps between generations rather than the cultural differences.
Oh, cultural gaps. So, I have experience with some cultural gaps at work and school. When you have to talk to all sorts of people. Back when I was a news reporter, it was like a cultural match-up. It's like people from different generation, various religion, and speaking different languages.
Right.
But you know what? I love to communicate with different people. So fair enough that you are in the same boat, right? Chatting with all kinds of people. I mean, teachers from different countries, or maybe friends who might come from different areas in Myanmar.
Right.
So have you ever faced any challenges to teachers or older adults of people at your home or at your school because of cultural gap?
I guess I've had a few experiences where there was a cultural gap with my teachers, but I sort of have the most cultural gap at home. So as a kid, whenever my parents would ask me to do something, I would respond with "eh." And I guess, in English it sounds okay, right? You're just saying yes. You can't say "eh" to adults. You have to say "ho" or "hoke."
Okay, ba.
Okay, ba.
Because you'll be considered rude.
Yeah, and yes, exactly. And so as I grew up, my dad had to, train me, sort of condition me in a sense, to respond with "ho." And sometimes, on a bad day, he would get angry and say "oh no, you shouldn't say "ho, you should say "hoke." And so, but I stuck to "ho," and everybody's okay with it now. It's mostly cultural gaps. It's slowly fading away, I think, because older people, they're beginning to understand that we're not kids anymore. We know what we're doing. We don't mean what we say. It's just something that goes along from generation to generation. And it's
okay.
so.
What about you, teacher
Philip?
You're a teacher, so I'm guessing you have to deal with more of the whole generational gap stuff, right? You chat with students every day. You chat with staff. Chat with teachers that are from different culture, from different generation. Do you have any experiences, or do you have any story that you want to share?
Sure. I would say I wanted to go back to the whole get things.
Right. Wow, the whole game is like taking over
Yeah.
this conversation.
Okay, right? It could be someone's asking you to do something, right? Your
Yes.
response is
Mm.
okay,
Yes.
right? Explaining to you something, response okay,
Okay.
right? So the mistakes, I did make that mistake. I
Mhm.
take okay and yes equally the same.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So it's not. So when you listen to native speakers' conversation, right?
yeah.
You might want to interrupt with, "Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I get it."
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And you might want to shoot a few questions about that, right? To interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it around.
Mm.
I think okay and yes is the same.
Mm.
That's why I listen to that and I give a response. Yes. 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 Right. Yes. So that's not the right response to
Right.
what they are saying.
What they're saying,
Yeah.
right.
Did they think it was intrusive in any way that you were saying
Yeah,
yes?
yeah. It's quite possible there
Mhm.
because okay, why you also respond to me yes,
Yes.
to everything I said, right?
So, though, what about you, Theo? In your opinion, what do you think is really important when it's come to communicating with the different generations? Sometimes the cultural gap due to the generation differences can strain our relations, right? I know you have a mom issues.
What?
Mommy issues.
Thank you for pointing out my issues on air. I mean, I feel like even we have cultural gaps sometimes, even
Yes.
though we're only like 2 years apart, should I say. I will say the slangs. Like, sometimes, like I will be scrolling on Instagram and then there'll be something about delulu. I'm guessing you know.
Yeah.
It means delusional, and
Yeah.
I'll have
Yes.
to look it up. Like, what the heck does delulu mean? So for me, it's like slangs, I would say, and even the way how they they form sentences now are different. So I'll have a hard time understanding. So
Mhm.
I guess that's what it is.
Mm.
What about you, Zue?
Okay, I don't really have any specific issues with culture gaps. You know, I enjoy talking with older people and I understand what they like to chat about. But let me share another story. It's really funny. So in my hometown, maybe the whole country, but I'm not sure. When we return home at night or a busy home where there is an infant baby, so older people used to say "poo poo poo," "pa pa pa," right before going in.
Popo like grandpa?
Not really, it's like a sound. Poo poo poo, pa 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 before going, especially at night. So I used to say it a lot as a kid, but no, not more anymore. So
Okay.
because I don't agree this belief that saying this word can ward about spirits and it goes following her at night.
Oh.
I mean, come on, why do people think saying poo poo poo, pa 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 is so powerful against ghosts? It's kind of funny, right? Don't you think?
Yes. My dad says papa every time he's gonna say something negative, right?
But he still says it.
Yeah, but he doesn't say popo. He doesn't
Okay.
say papa.
Alright.
So yesterday we are diving into the daily miscommunication and cultural differences that we all have faced. So right now I want to chat about what we can learn from this cultural misunderstanding. So Theo and I, we have had a fair share of our cultural miscommunication
Right.
because our backgrounds are like so different, right? But you know, every time we talk about these differences, we end up learning something new about each other's cultures, and it gave me some knowledge, right?
Right. Like I feel like that part comes out more when we have to sit down and work and translate scripts from
Yes.
Myanmar to English or English to Myanmar, because there are some phrases or sentences that doesn't sometimes fit into like the Myanmar language or the English language, and that's when you and I fight. But
Yes.
we're still friends. So Philip, what is your opinion on how can sharing stories of cultural misunderstanding help foster better understanding and appreciation of different cultures?
Oh, I would say, yeah, it's like making mistakes in life. So to be successful, to be a better version of yourself, you
Mhm.
make mistakes in life and you learn from the mistakes,
Yes.
right? So I think it works the same way in terms of cultural misunderstanding. So when other people with different background and cultures, right? Making mistakes, and you, I think, have the responsibility to correct their mistakes, right?
Yes.
And vice versa. And that, I think that's how we learn more from each other, and that's how we build our better relationship, get to know each other, and that's how it should be, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Problem. So Theory, did you learn anything from cultural differences that you have encountered?
I think misunderstandings, like the root of all misunderstandings, is of course miscommunication.
Right.
And from, facing more misunderstandings in the future, you will understand that the place where people are coming from. Not everybody from different cultures are looking to attack you. People just come from a genuine place and they want to genuinely communicate with you. But it just happens so that the way they say things is offensive to your culture.
Yes.
And I think the more misunderstandings there are, the more you will become compassionate of the people around you, of the world, and like all the cultures in it.
When modern systems making it easier to explore different cultures, like you can even go on YouTube now and look up and watch about other cultures. So it's very easy to be exposed to it.
For Myanmar, of course, I think there's a big changes in terms of the way people see themselves in the world overall, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we're not kind of left behind anymore. I think we're changing.
So
we're
people
trying
are
to keep
catching
up with.
up.
We're
Yeah.
catching up
Yeah.
with the changes around the world right now.
Okay.
So it's not just a physical change. Our mentalities also changes a lot. That's why say, I would say, a lot of people with the old-fashioned, outdated of way of thinking, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, it's a lot of progressive people. Even millennials, I would say, there's a lot of potential for them. Yeah, I think they are trying their best to keep up with the changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like I'm sure you have the experience of living abroad, but now in Myanmar, so you have a funny story or even shocking miscommunication due to cultural differences, like depending on different situations, right? So, what is one piece of advice you would give to newcomers to Myanmar to avoid like cultural misunderstanding that you have encountered?
Sure. So today's the internet, right, can give you everything. So it's not just about Myanmar. If you planning to go to any other countries, I think I would suggest to do a research about that particular country before you go there. First, before you come into Myanmar, of course, I make sure you do a prior research about Myanmar, or what do's and don'ts, okay? And then when you're actually in this country, it's always better to hang out with local people, because that's how you learn the best from them and try to make an adaptation in a new place.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Theory? If one of your friends from abroad or something like that, what's one advice that you would like to give them?
Before they come, I'll just tell them that they really, really love foreigners. They love foreigners.
Yes.
So anybody you see on the street, you can simply go talk to them and they'll respond in a very friendly way. Even if it comes off as like, offensive, but we have a good heart.
Yes.
And we're very welcoming to outsiders and all that stuff. So yes, just talk to anyone. Don't be so tense. Myanmar is a very welcome country.
Yes.
But the only thing that you have to look out for is crossing the roads. It can be rather chaotic if you cross roads in this country.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Everything else is fine.
Like you said, just don't be surprised if people from Myanmar are constantly looking at you with a smile, because Myanmar people love visitors from different countries, right? So, and don't get shocked if you see some locals spitting out the rough stuff from their mouths. It's just
It's not blood. It's not blood.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါခင်ဗျဆိုတော့နောက်တစ်ပတ်ကြာရင်လေကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီကနေ့နီးတူပဲစိတ်ဝင်စားစရာကောင်းတဲ့အကြောင်းအရာတွေကိုနားဆင်လို့ကောင်းမဲ့တခြင်းကောင်းတွေဖွင့်ပြရည်နဲ့ထုတ်လွှင့်တင်ဆက်ပေးတော့မှာမို့လို့ MI Radio နဲ့ AUY တို့ပူးပေါင်းစီစဉ်တင်ဆက်တဲ့ Learning Hub Program ကို MI Radio ကနေမနက် 7:00 နာရီတိုင်းမှာဖမ်းယူနားဆင်ဖို့ဖိတ်ခေါ်ပါရစေခင်ဗျ